Hello there, my name's Harriet. I've been a practicing artist for about 15 years after graduating from the University of Huddersfield with a degree in textile crafts. I specialised in knitting at university, which is quite unusual, but since doing that degree it's just been a complete love affair with all things knitting and textile based ever since. Um, the way I got into natural dyeing is probably from my mum. She has a little vegetable patch in the garden where she plants certain um, plants that would give off these really beautiful colours, such as woad and madder. And we basically just had a little experiment and tried things out, and it's just been really addictive ever since. Um, Something that I've become really passionate about is using kitchen waste as a means of dyeing. I'm very conscious about the environment, and anything that I can do to minimalise waste in a way is something that I feel quite passionate about. So the fact that I'm actually able to use onion skins and coffee grounds and old vinegar that I've used to clean with within the dyes is something really exciting. So yeah, in this video I would like to kind of show you my processes and my techniques. It's not necessarily going to be an instructional video step by step how to make the dyes. It's just going to be more of an immersive experience for you to inspire you and kind of maybe show you something that you haven't been aware of before. I'd like to show you the whole process because I go out and forage for various different plants, bark, berries, leaves, and then obviously I make the finished product as well, and there's lots of things in the middle. So I'd like to show you the whole process just to inspire you. So let's have a little experiment and see what we come up with. So just before we get started with the processes, I'd just like to take this opportunity to share with you some of the colours that I've been able to collect from various different natural plants and different natural means. So some of it is kitchen waste, such as avocado skins, avocado stones, onion skins, and some of it is some things that I've collected from the garden, such as buddleia, and some of it is from the village. So some sloes, blackberries, lots and lots of different colours. So this is my rather messy dyeing station at my studio at home, and I've been looking through lots of the yarns and the fabrics that I have dyed in the past, and I've kind of gained a lot of really beautiful colours, and one of the colours that I really am a fan of is from onion skins, which you can see on the three little knitted planters on the right hand side there. That's what I've used to dye these. And I really love it in the knitting because you're able to get this sort of flecked, beautiful sort of natural tone. But I would love to see how that translates into fabric and how the onion dye penetrates through the fabric and how the colour sits on the surface. So because it is winter and there's not a huge abundance of things that I would usually use to dye with outside, I would like us to experiment with some kitchen waste today. So I'm going to be making some onion skin dye and dyeing some fabric for a little fabric planter, and we'll see how that comes out. So what I've done is I have now washed and dried my fabric. This is a smaller piece that you can see. The mordant has really affected the fabric in a lovely way. It's kind of created this lovely moss green, which I wasn't really expecting. The onion dyes that I've created before with iron mordant, they do sometimes make it green, but they also make it like a browny hue as well. So that's why I love natural dyeing, because it's an experiment. You're never quite sure what's going to happen. And by having the fabric slightly damp as well, obviously allows the dye to penetrate through into the fibres better. And if you're creating like a dip dye effect, you get this lovely sort of ombre graduation as well. This is the larger piece, which you can see again, because I dip dyed the top and the bottom, you've got this lovely rich moss green colour. And I left the onion skins in the dye when I was dyeing it, and kind of placed them randomly on top, so that's why I've got these sort of darker random sort of abstract shapes, because there must have been a little bit of iron mordant on the actual onion skins themselves, which has penetrated through. So I'm quite happy with how these sample pieces have come out, and now it's just a case of getting my templates and cutting out my pieces of fabric. So I've got this little plastic planter, which I've wanted to cover for a while. I don't like plastic at all. This was given to me, so I try not to buy any plastic myself. But I have it and I'd like to cover it, so I've literally just placed it on top of a old paper bag that I had, and I've cut out the shape for the side. So I know that I need 4 sides and I need 1 bottom. So I'm just going to place these on top of the fabric and select my areas and cut them out and start to pin. So this is the finished pot. It's, you know, quite impressive to think that about 2 hours ago it was just some fabric and some onion skins, but now I've got this lovely sort of moss green coloured fabric with some lovely orange hues as well. The pot either side, as I mentioned earlier, I've used onion skin dye for those as well, and the fabric behind the pots is also dyed with onion skins, so you can see what a massive difference it makes to use the iron mordant. In addition to it, it's made that lovely moss green colour. The mordant will also help fix the colour, so it will prevent it from fading in sunlight. But yeah, I'm really pleased with it. I think that the colours blend in really nicely.